Here today we have Philip May, President and CEO of Entergy Louisiana, and Shelton Hudson, Vice President of Power Delivery for Entergy Louisiana. So Philip May will be able to give you guys a brief overview of what we're seeing, and then Shelton can add in some color of the conditions our guys are facing up there, and then we'll open it up for some questions. So Philip, whenever you're ready.
So I'm Philip May, President and CEO of Entergy Louisiana. What we're seeing in North Louisiana right now, we're seeing some extreme conditions, a lot of damage to the trees and the vegetation up there. And of course, that is having an impact on our system. We saw a peak outages of about 92,000 that happened yesterday. We also saw another round of outages last night. We continue to see vegetation failing with the wind and the cold and so forth. So we saw another round of outages this night. Now we're about 88,000 outages across North Louisiana. We anticipate being able to get the power back on for those areas that we have available access. That's primarily in the I-20 corridor, West Monroe area, that type of thing. We should be able to get most of our customers back on in those areas on Wednesday night. For those areas where we have more challenging conditions, difficult access, and severe damage, we anticipate having the majority of our customers on in those areas through Thursday. We have assembled a restoration workforce of about 3,500 people. They're coming from across 20 different states. And so that crew will be out working today. They will be assessing the damage as well as repairing the damage. We hope to make a lot of progress today and hope to have, again, most of our customers in those easier to access areas, primarily along the I-20 corridor, on Wednesday night, with the remainder of our customers Thursday night. I also want to share some of the conditions we're seeing. So Shelton, tell me a little bit about what our workers are seeing out there.
Yes, sir. And so what I'll say is that, in addition to just fighting the cold itself, we're seeing ice on the roadways, which is having congestion on major thoroughfares like I-20 and some of the other major roads, which makes it very hard for our trucks out there to make it to the areas that we're starting to identify damage. The other thing that we're also being mindful in terms of the vegetation that's happening out there, we consistently see limbs continue to fall as we speak. The weight of the ice on those limbs are causing them to fall to where that's a constant battle as our guys are trying to get out there and safely restore a lot of our customers out there.
And listen, we know the conditions are severe. It's very cold. We appreciate our customers' patience as we work to get the power back on, but this is going to be a methodical process as we work to restore your power with the majority of our customers along that I-20 corridor on Wednesday night and the remainder of our customers on Thursday. Questions?
How many, did you say how many you think are outage up north?
So we had a peak outages of 92,000 that came yesterday. We got that number down. We did see some additional outages overnight with those limbs falling, as Shelton described. Right now we have about 88,000 customers out.
The length of time, I know you can't really say based on, you kind of have to get out there, but I guess to the people that wonder, what's taking so long, to maybe make them understand that it's not just a line down, it's a tree that's down on the line 3 blocks away.
Yeah, so what we're seeing are really some extreme damage across our system, and it's really spread throughout that entire area. So we're seeing transmission line damage. We have to repair that initially. We're also seeing damage to our substations. We've got to prepare those, and then we'll go to the major feeders and down to the individual homes to do that. If you don't see a truck working in your area, that doesn't mean we're not working to restore your power. We have to do it in a methodical process that starts with the power plants, transmission lines, substations, and then down to the neighborhoods.
Yeah, Shelton, question for you. I know when we have these types of outages for storms in particular and hurricanes, people are used to kind of seeing those big chunks come back on at once. And I know in the cold, that's a little bit different with cold load pickup, things like that. Can you just talk a little bit about the restoration process and why it might be a little slower in cold weather?
Yeah, so when you're dealing with the cold temperatures and you're looking to restore folks, we are looking to put those feeders back in. When we're energizing them, it's something called cold load pickup, to where when you're when you're picking up a big chunk, if you will, you're having all these homes with heaters come on at the same time, which can overwhelm the line itself. And so sometimes you may see where we're restoring a certain number of customers and it may come right back out. And what we then do is look to try to sectionalize that portion of line and pick it up in portions, allow the line to stabilize, and then slowly pick everyone back up. So that's another piece that's a little tough for our guys out there in terms of making sure that it slows us down and picking everyone up just a little bit, dealing with the cold weather.
And Brandon, we probably want to touch base. We're seeing a lot of very challenging access to roads and passageways and so forth. We are working with the Department of Transportation and Development so that we can get those roads cleared. They can't clear many of those roads if our lines are down, and we can't get access if there's trees in the road. So we're working together to provide that access and hasten the pace of restoration.
And I guess whoever wants to take it, any last safety messages you want to get out to our customers?
The only thing I'll add, and when we're talking about the congestion in the roadways, and I know, folks are maybe wanting to get out there as best they can, but if you have no real reason to make it out, if you can stay in your home and kind of wait this one out, that would be the ask. We're starting to see an uptick in terms of cars on the roadway, and this too can block our folks from being able to get out there and start to restore.
In regards to Baton Rouge, there hasn't been an issue.
No, we really haven't seen any issues in Baton Rouge. Unfortunately, we were able to deploy those resources to North Louisiana, so we have a stronger team up there to address the restoration.
Unless there's anything more you can say about the specific location of where most of the problems are, is there any more you can expand about the
Yeah, so the area that we saw hardest hit, Monroe, West Monroe, so that's Ouachita and Jackson parishes over to Richland. A lot of damage in that area. And so those are the areas going to take a lot of work to get back on. But we have as we said, 3,500 restoration team strong out there working to get this done. And again, those areas where we have available access, we'll have the power back on for the majority of those customers Wednesday night, with the rest of the customers extending into Thursday.
And then are y'all watching? It's supposed to come back around in a week and maybe be affecting us here more in this area. Is there anything else to speak to that?
Yeah, so we are aware there is another system out there. From what we hear, that won't be a damaging system like what we saw this. It will bring extreme cold, and we're hurrying to get the power back on so people will be safe in their homes when that next system comes. All right.
All right, thank you guys. If you got any follow-ups, just let me know.